Hi everyone, welcome to UTV Gooner and our show, The Shooting Lone Star with Ram from the Austin Gooners. Hey bro, how are you?
I'm good, man. Just woke up a little bit ago and drinking my morning coffee and watching Tottenham get battered and watching the Arsenal women come back. It's halftime right now in the Champions League semifinal first leg. It's 2-1. So credit to them. I'll be watching that one as we chat, and then afterwards and rewatching that Tottenham match, the first half at least. But a lot of going on and yeah, man, it's mad, right? It's the mad part of the season. So yeah, dude, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. See, I didn't really get to see that first half because I was recording with someone else before this, but
Yeah,
when I saw the score, I was like, whoa, 5-0, gone to Newcastle. So it's good to see Tottenham getting battered. And
yeah,
yeah, come on to our women's team. Hopefully, can get a good result out there for the second
yeah.
half. Yeah, hopefully get to the final of the Champions League.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, I've been loving watching the NBA as well, bro. Loving that
Ma-
off time. It's busy,
NBA's been fun. Busy
yeah,
time, bro.
busy time. So, bro, our last game now, Southampton, disappointing. It's been a couple of days now. We know that is a disappointing result. It's the team bottom of the league, ended up 3-3. Hard one to take. You can say, is it the nerves, the pressure of the occasion? We know it's a young team. We didn't perform the way we normally would. Our defense has been shaky in recent times. I don't think you can put that down just to Rob Holding, just in general. Even before Rob Holding, we were conceding a lot of goals, especially at home. So even before Rob Holding had to come in the team to replace Saliba, we had been looking a bit shaky defensively. And our last three games we conceded 7 goals. We scored,
hmm
so attacking wise, we've been doing well, but giving up these goals has really cost us. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, so I'm looking at the momentum map on fotmob.com, and it's nearly 95% in our favor. Even the two goals that they scored were against what do you call it? Against the run of play. I mean, that first goal was just an absolute like brain freeze and really dumb. But as you said before we went live, like that can happen just kicking about with the boys or whatever. Their second goal was again somebody just gave up a really dumb turnover, and then they just turned around and scored on us. Um, I liked the fact that we just never gave up, and then the third goal was just absolutely horrible, dude. Like, it was on a corner. It was a little bit embarrassing, and I just remember being at the tavern and just everybody the silence. You could hear a pin drop. And even on the TV, I don't know how it was like in the fans. I don't know if like the cameras picked it up properly or the audio, but it sounded like even at the Emirates, everybody was just kind of distraught, deflated, and understandably so. I mean, it sucks, right? You're down 3-1. Um, but at the end, we had a chance to win, which was insane. Like we're one of my buddies was in the middle of just talking shit about every player, like not in a mean way, like just more like he hasn't been good. He hasn't been good. Like, what's going on? And then he literally said, Odegaard's been absolutely shambolic today. And then Odegaard puts in the goal. And we're just like, yes, talk shit about somebody else. Like, let's go. Like, come on. Had a chance to win toward the end, which is incredible. And Arteta said it himself in the post game, how, he highlighted both sides of the coin. He said, like, I love how our fans never gave up. Our players never gave up. Like, they really showed fight. They're never going to give up, and that's very true. Like, you can really um admire something regardless of what happens at the end of the year. One thing I'm going to note about this team is just how from start to finish they're playing lights out. Even as we went down 2-0, you saw Zinchenko pull everybody in immediately, just said like, come on, let's fucking get it together. um and up until the last moment we had a chance to win the match. And but then on the flip side, he said in the very next sentence, like, you can't give up 3 goals in the Premier League and expect to win and get results. Yeah, we did everything but get the 3 points, and that's true too, right? So like, it's fair enough to praise our boys for continuing to fight, but you also have to call them out and say like, what are we doing? Like, how do like how do we fall behind 2-0 to Southampton at home with the title on the line? You have to think that there's some kind of nerves getting into the team, which it's a run into the champion to to the trophy. Like it's kind of understandable in a way because it's a young team. This is their first run towards a title. But you kind of hope that they get over it quickly because it'd be really disappointing to kind of give it up in this factor. And we have to, right? Because the next match is Man City on a Wednesday, and we had a little bit of wiggle room before this match where we said, hey, like we got to win against Southampton, and then maybe we can be happy with a draw at City. And now I feel like that's out the window now. Like we have to win, and a draw, although it's not terrible, it wouldn't help like it would still be like fuck, like we need more, we need a win, and especially for the mentality, like just to kind of get over the hump because you could tell like there's a block going on, and so I think we have to win, bro. Like it's kind of it's win it's do or die at this point. But we've only got ourselves to blame. We put ourselves in that position. Um, and with all that being said, I still have a faith in this team, and I think we show a lot of signs in this game just how good we are. We just have to um as easier said than done, but just tighten up the mental mistakes. I mean, their first two goals were just mental brain freezes, if you will. Like, what can you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. It's difficult being in this position where it's been going so well. We'd won 7 of a bounce, and then we've given up 3 draws now. Feels like defeats because the way the circumstances. For Liverpool 2-0 ahead, West Ham 2-0 ahead, Southampton, a team we should be beating, who are 20th. But it's happened now. Got to move on. We've had many results where we've got goals late in games. You talk about the Aston Villa game, a Man United game, a Bournemouth game. So you're going to get these twists and turns in the season, and it's not gone our way these last 3 games. That post you were talking to me before we started filming about Ian Wright put out there, I saw it as well. And when I was watching that, that's what he was talking about, it's a title running, you're going to get these ups and downs. There's no guarantee City are going to win all their games. Right? As good a team as they are, it's sports. We see upsets happening all the time in all kinds of different sports. I was watching the other day Boston Celtics against Atlanta, and Boston Celtics were 2-0 up, won both for home games easy, but then they went and lost for the third game quite easily, and Atlanta beat them. So, all the time in sports we see upsets, and there's no guarantee City are going to win all their games. And that's the thing. So this game, we would really like to win. We want to keep it in our hands. If we win, it means we just win the 5 games after that. We're champions. It's still in our hands. Even after these 3 bad results we've had, it's still in our hands, which is amazing to say with 6 games just to go. We beat City, win the remaining 5 games. That's it. The title's ours. However, if we could go there and worst case get a draw, it's still going to keep the title race wide open because if they win their 2 games in hand, they'd only have a 1-point lead on us. They're right down to the wire. Like I say, there's no guarantees they're going to win their games. They got some hard games coming up. Brighton away will not be easy for them. They got their Champions League semi-finals coming up against Real Madrid. Pep was mentioning tiredness, mental fatigue as well. They're going to be putting a lot of effort into them games. Pressure's on them. Champions League, they really want to win that desperately. Real Madrid are a very good team. That's going to be a massive battle for them. Then having the Premier League games around that, there's no guarantees. We cannot say it's done. We've seen a lot of stuff in the media, pundits saying that they're massive favourites now and it's kind of done. They think they're going to walk it, but no, it's far from done. And I think we have this massive opportunity now on Wednesday to go there and get a really good result. Draw a minimum, but ideally, if we could beat them, the confidence we'll take from that as well. And then again, it puts it massively all in our hands that we can then just make sure we win our last 5 games and we're champions regardless what they do. It's a huge game coming up, bro. What do you think are the keys for us winning this game against Man City?
I know we were talking about it at the bar right after the match, like immediately aftermath, and maybe we had a few drinks, so maybe I don't know how smart it is, but somebody mentioned like we should just park the bus and counterattack and see what happens because they pointed out like teams that have taken results from City, like that's what they've been able to do. You know what I mean? or that's what they did to be able to get the points off of them. So I don't know necessarily if that's the solution, because I don't want to see us deviate from what we're comfortable at doing. Like, we're very good at attacking. Like, that's our thing. Like, we from the first whistle, we're, pedal to the metal. What's hurt us is just the mental mistakes. And so, Rob Holding is not William Saliba, and nobody expects him to be. I think he's done pretty well, like decently well for his skill set, for what he's able to do. Um, it's just there's limitations to that. And so I think honestly, like, we've been playing so well when, like, again, I'm looking at this momentum map right now from the previous game, and even when they scored the goals, the momentum was in our favor, right? So they've scored those goals against the run of play. Like we are just relentless. And one thing I want to go back a little bit on, like, one thing I've really liked this season is listening to what other players immediately after playing us, what they have to say about it. Like, they've interviewed the guy from Leicester, Mikel Antonio from West Ham most recently, and then also Theo Walcott. Like, I know he's a former gunner, but like, and even some people at Man City, like, you hear this common theme, like, that just Arsenal are just relentless, right? They get you out of your game. Like, they dominate play, and they've all said, even though especially Mikel Antonio and Theo Walcott, they're like, even though we took points off of them, like, I still think they're going to win the league. Like, we've also played City, and this team looks much better than that. And you have to kind of take their word, because I mean, they're out there on the pitch with them, and they're seeing it firsthand. um, I think we got to just continue to play our game, like, but also at the same time, just tighten it up a little bit mentally. I don't think we need to deviate and do anything different than what we've been doing. We just have to. Um, I think it's a mental thing at this point, and we just have to fight that and get over that. And I think that has to do maybe for the manager as well. Like, I don't. I was really perplexed. I was excited a little bit to see Fabio Vieira, because I'm like, I see, in instances, I see what the coach sees in him. Like, oh yeah, like, he's a good player. But today, like, against Southampton, there were times where there was a pass where he's right outside the box and he had the ball, and you're like, shoot it, like, fucking shoot it, like, do it. And instead, he just kind of chipped it like a little cross to kind of set somebody else up. Another time, same kind of situation. Instead of one touch shooting it, like, he pulled it down on his feet and then tried to shoot it, and then it was over. Like, if you're gonna do those kinds of things, make sure you're assertive about it. And he just wasn't that. Like, he didn't step up and say, like, this is my time to shine. And that's what Arteta expects out of players, right? Like, you see it in games against Bournemouth. Everybody, as soon as they got the ball, was like, all right, let me try and score. Like, let me try and make something happen, and just shoot it into the box, and who knows what happens. And Vieira didn't do that. And I think, yeah, I just think on some level you can kind of outsmart yourself at times. And I feel like maybe Arteta outsmarted himself by trying to start Vieira and trying to do something or deviate when we could have just maybe put Jorginho in there. Um, So yeah, man, I think the biggest keys, I'm going off on like a big tangent, but I think the biggest keys, I just think are mental. I don't think there's anything tactical that we need to do anything different. Like, looks like we're going to get Xhaka back. Zinchenko looked healthy enough. Like, we can go with him. Only guy we're missing is Saliba to look at the big picture. So yeah, man. I mean, we just have to, like, we have everybody we have. Like, we have to just go and take it, man. And it's as simple as that. Like, it's emotions. And even, I'll keep going. And Thierry Henry during the Champions League coverage said just as much. Like, he was saying, it's a mental thing. Obviously emotions are part of the game, but you can't let the emotions get to you. And I think that's what we've been letting it do for the past 3 matches. So it's just about just zeroing in. I don't think there's anything special we have to do. Just got to play our game, and I think we have a chance.
Yeah, bro. We talk about in sports anything can happen, and we've seen it just now with Southampton, the team bottom, coming and getting a draw against us. We've got to go there confident. One thing that, in my opinion, is I think we've got to be a bit tactically aware of their way of playing and great form they're in at the moment. Like, they really are on fire. We've seen them scoring loads of goals, winning a whole load of games in a row. We saw it done to Bayern Munich recently in the Champions League. So I think normally I like to say just concentrate on our game, not worry too much about the opponent, and we should be able to get the win. But in this case, I'd like to see us just be a little bit more secure defensively. So I'm not saying be negative. I'm not saying park the bus or anything like that. But just with the tactics, maybe go with Jorginho and a Partey, see what the situation is with Xhaka, and just look to just with how our defense has been, just try and shore up our defense a little bit more. So again, just we saw it as well with Pep when they came here. Normally, Man City's game, Pep's game is all about possession, dominating the ball. In that game, they changed it up. That was the game that Pep had the lowest amount of possession he's ever had in any game, including his days with Bayern Munich and Barcelona. We completely dominated the ball, and he changed up his tactics. He did go more direct into Haaland, and he was aware of that we were in really good form, and he just wanted to change it up to make sure that they could still get the win. And he got the job done in the end. We had most of the possession. We dominated the ball. We played really well, but with their tactics, they were able to hit us on the break, get their goals, and get the win. So I think we should look to be a little bit tighter, a bit more disciplined defensively. When we get opportunities, try to go forward, but we've got to be tactically astute, aware. This is a very dangerous team. They're on fire. They got a striker like Haaland who's just banging goals in all over the place. He didn't even score yesterday. Mahrez creating a hat-trick. They're getting goals not just from Haaland. They got many, many dangerous players. The list just goes on and on. Grealish, Foden, in the midfield, the likes of De Bruyne. It's such a strong team, So I think we do need to. It's a bit more disciplined defensively, and
Yeah.
keep a few more men behind the ball than we normally would when we're attacking or when we got corners, free kicks, etc. And yeah, hopefully we can go out there, put on a great display. This is a huge game. Like I was saying to you last year, for me, it's the biggest game we've had since the Champions League final. It's such a massive game. We want to play the game of our lives, the best of our ability, go there and get the win. What's your correct score prediction, bro?
I think it's going to be. Listen, like I said, we have no problem scoring goals, right? Like, I mean, we scored 3, we scored 2, we scored 2. The problem is we've just been giving them up a lot lately. But then before that, so we're on a 10-game unbeaten streak. And during those 10 games, like, we've been scoring for the wins, at least the 7 wins, we're getting 4 goals here, 4 goals here. There's only one time where we, against Leicester, where we could have scored 3 or 4 or 5 and we only got 1, but it was still a dominant performance. So we're scoring the goals. And then during these 3 draws where we've dropped points, yes, we've got 2 against Liverpool, 2 against West Ham, and then albeit it was really late this past one time, but we're still putting it behind in the back of the net. So we're gonna score goals. I think we're gonna have that ability. That last one was a 3-1 defeat, but that almost felt like we could have scored more. So again, I've never felt like we can't I've never gone into a game like, fuck, where are we gonna get the goals from? Like we're gonna get goals, and I think it's gonna be. I'm still gonna hold on to my belief and say that we win this match, and I think we win it 4-3. Um, I agree with you. There's got to be some kind of like middle ground between parking the bus and just all out flying attack. Like, we got to find that center, that perfect spot, because yeah, we need to be more. I agree with the idea. Like, we have to be more disciplined and more defensive minded. But when somebody at the bar was like, "Let's park the bus," like, I was like, I don't think that that's gonna solve anything. Like, because that's not in our nature. Like, no, I don't want to see that. And also, yeah, it's not gonna be fun. Like, it's gonna be the most stressful 90 minutes of our lives. Like, I think we could still take it to them and still play our game. We just have to be more disciplined. And I think even if we were to win 4-3, there can still be some signs that we show some discipline on defense. I just think ultimately City are just a different monster. Um, and they're going to get their goals as well. But I feel like we can go toe to toe with them. So I'm going to say 4-3 in favor of the Arsenal. A relatively late game winner, which is going to make maybe the last 20 to 25 minutes an absolute like hell for us. Just like I don't know, it's gonna be an intense game, man. But I'm going to say 4-3.
Okay,
I
that'll
don't
be
know.
one
We'll
hell
see.
of a game, bro. That'll
Yeah.
be an amazing game, and if we get that win, oh my God. For me, I think it's gonna be tight. I think as much as they're a great team right now and they're flying, they're gonna be a bit wary of us as well. As I say, we saw that in the game here. Pep did change up his tactics. He knows we got a very good team, and we are able to cause them trouble. So I think it's gonna be more of a cagier game, especially if we do as I'm hoping that we do try to be a little bit more cautious and just not commit too many players forward. So I think it's going to be tighter. I'm going for a 2-1 win for us.
Ooh,
I
that'll
think
be fun.
late winner. I'll take a draw. I really would. I think, like I say, as I was saying to you, that still keeps us right in the title race.
Hmm.
As much as we want the confidence boost and we want to keep it in our hands by beating them, if we were to get a draw, that would not be a bad result at all. It's never a bad result to get a draw there with what a great team we are. We're talking about the Anfield situation, and all right, in them circumstances, we're saying, okay, ideally we should have won the game. At that point, we want to win the game 2-0 up, but a draw at Anfield is never a bad result. And in this
Yeah.
situation, again, and when we look at the head-to-head record, I remember telling you these stats before the game here. The last time we beat them in the Premier League, you have to go all the way back to 2015 at the Etihad. That was the last time. It was a 2-0 game where Cazorla played really well and Drew scored in that one as well. We beat him 2-0. So that's 8 years ago since we beat him at Etihad. And just in general in the Premier League, like it was also 2015 since the last time we beat him, even at the Emirates, we beat him 2-1. Since then, we've had one draw in 2017, a 2-2 draw. After that, they've won every single game. So they've had a real dominant stronghold over us in recent times. And Pep's head-to-head with Arteta, he's beaten him in every Premier League game. We've not even had one draw. The only win
Yeah.
I've had was in the FA Cup. So, there's that saying as well. You drew a win. You have that saying often as well in sports that, when you've
Yeah.
had sort of poor results or a losing streak or not winning streak, you do have that saying that we're due. Let's hope this is the one. That,
Yeah.
this is the one where we can go and
Well,
get the win.
well, if you think about what we've done this season so far to put ourselves in this position where, you know, we're top of the league with a month to go, but we've broken a lot of those glass ceilings, right? Like we started the season off beating Crystal Palace away, which had been sort of like a thing for us, right? We couldn't beat them. We went away to Brighton and won when that one was like sort of a scary fixture. We beat Tottenham away. We we beat United to kind of bounce back from a really disappointing loss. Um, we beat Liverpool at home, which I think at that before that point, it had been like 16, 17 matches. It had been a long time since we beat them, like outright beat them. We drew, we got a point at Anfield. Like we've been doing a lot of these things where we're do this, we're do that, we're do this, and then we get it. So, and that's put us in the position where we are today or on Wednesday. So yes, to your point, like we're due, and I think like as tough as these last three games have been, like we got to be able to say like forget all that, like like forget the future, like all that matters is this one game, and we can worry about the next games as they come along. But like let's put everything we got into this one game, win, and regardless of how it turns out, like this is going to be if we were to win at the Etihad against a team that's just a super team, basically, like that's going to go a long way long term to kind of really giving us a boost. Um, I agree. Yeah, exactly what you're saying, man. This is it right here. Like this is what we've been playing all season to get into. This is what you want, right? This is exactly what you want. So I think that's Arteta's going to have to like put that in the players. Like like to win. He even said so, like publicly. Like, I mean, to win, this is the kind of game you want as a player, as a coach. This is why you sign up to play football, is for these high stakes matches. And so everybody's just got to step up and put in a little bit of extra. Like, no other way to put it.
Yeah, bro, for sure. And that's it. These are the games. These are the ones that really get us excited. Super nervous, but super excited, bro. I can't wait for Wednesday. It's going to be a great game. Let's hope we can get them 3 points. So before we go, going to get some predictions for you for that midweek round of fixtures we have. So it's a full round of Premier League fixtures coming up, and there's some big
Yeah.
games. Before I do that, though, just looking at the Tottenham score now, 6-1.
Oh, love it. Love it. I'm gonna
Uh,
be again after this. I'm gonna go tune in from the beginning and watch all the train wreck, man. So gotta love it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so bro, first one, big game in the relegation battle, Leeds United versus Leicester City.
I'm gonna go Leeds, 3-1. I think Leicester is they, they're valiant. They put in some efforts, but I think they're gonna start just falling off, man. They don't look very impressive at all. They won against Wolves 2-1 yesterday. Um, but I think Leeds is gonna bounce back. They've had a couple of struggle games as well. Um, I think Leeds ends up winning 3-1. It's all topsy turvy. It's all over the place. So I think you would think, Leeds have lost two in a row, really bad, and then Leicester just won. So I think Leeds is going to just kind of get one back.
Okay. Another team that going to be in the relegation battle very soon, where they're going, Chelsea. They got
Yes.
Brentford in West London derby. That's going to be a big
Woo.
match there.
I'm gonna go with the draw. The last one was a 0-0. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh man, I think I'm gonna go with another draw. It's gonna be 2-2. I don't think either team has got that killer instinct right now. Although Ivan Toney scored a banger yesterday. You know what? I'm gonna amend it. I'm gonna say 2-1 Brentford. Chelsea just doesn't like scare me right now. Although, we'll see what happens, right? Like we have them coming up and that's another story. But yeah, I think Brentford gets the win.
They're really struggling. Frank
Mm.
Lampard hasn't won one game there yet so far.
Yeah.
They're a mess. So yeah, it'd be good to see them really continue to suffer and get involved in that relegation battle. Another game involving relegation battle, but also top four is Everton versus Newcastle.
Well, Newcastle are flying right now, and I don't think Everton has any chance of slowing them down. So I see like a 3-0 win for Newcastle. They're scaring me right now, especially with today. Like I can't fully enjoy this Tottenham battering because we have to play Newcastle. Yeah, they're getting hot at the right time. So I'll say 3-0 to Everton. Everton is just pitiful, man.
Okay, well, and then to finish with a massive game for top four race between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United.
Oh boy, hard to say, right? United played today for the against Brighton, and I'm pulling for Brighton for the FA Cup. Shit. I'm gonna say that one's gonna be a draw. I feel like that's gonna be like a 1-1 draw. I still think Casemiro is out, and they just look lost, especially in defense. Especially if Harry Maguire might have a goal for Tottenham in his back pocket, ready to go because, yeah, they're just pitiful without Casemiro, and they're playing a lot of games too, and they don't have this necessarily the depth to do that, right? So they're starting all their top players every single match. This is toward the end of the month. They're probably going to struggle to get some points there. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna say it's gonna be a draw 1-1. It's not gonna be that thrilling. Tottenham just looks bad right now. It's incredible. 1-1. It's not gonna be an exciting draw either.
Okay, bro. Yeah, big midweek round of fixtures coming up.
Yeah.
This game is our one. Obviously, it's like I say for me, our biggest game in so many years. Come on, boys, we can do this.
Yes.
So, go on.
No, I was gonna say it's really annoying that this is the second time we played them on a Wednesday. Like this is one of those games that deserves Saturday or Sunday time, but I mean it is what it is. Still gonna enjoy it. I think I've decided I'm gonna go to the tavern watch it with the friends, and whatever happens, happens, man. I've already accepted like that. Like, I'm hoping for a win or a draw. If a loss happens, I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't mean the season is over, but I don't know, man. I just want to say, like, all season this team has given us a wonderful ride, and it's for moments like this. And so all I hope is that we just show up and put our best foot forward and take these guys to the limit, and whatever comes of it, let's I'm ready for it. But yes, as you said, biggest match since the Champions League final for our boys. I wasn't a supporter at that time, so this is like, yeah, the biggest match I've ever seen as a supporter. And the very first match I watched was a pitiful 2-0 loss to them. So just to see that and then to see how far we've come, amazing. And I'm excited to see what happens, bro. So let's just come on, you Gunners. Let's make it happen. And yeah, man, it's gonna be fun regardless. Love it.
Yeah, bro. Come on, boys. We can do this. So that's all from us. Thanks, bro.
My pleasure, bro. It's great talking to you, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, bro, for sure. So that's all from us, everyone. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share.